Hey, this is Hidden Hackaday going raw without a script, and basically I'm just here to discuss all about the makings of Touhou Legends Together and how it began. From how it basically started, usually about 10 years ago, it all simply began of a single book of a single library. And that little book was known as Moses the Kitten. Despite of its wonderful story making and all, and how a little kitten was saved, it also came to the realization of how that book was a deep resemblance of how Moses somehow met with me, Moses Renoya. But to get deeper into something like that would be a big complication for the most public. But for right now, that book also inspired me to make more stories, and since then I began to make a lot of stories as I progressed. From how it was made out, per se, usually it began starting off simple with, again, just the stories. Then I started doing some anime drawings in due time, age 14 and whatnot. As I progress with anime drawing, I'm still not the best, but I do expect to see a lot more expectations of mistakes that I may have missed, what I could fix up, and it's just how an artist expects from out of it, even if there's frustration and so on. From where, how it came from multiple sources here and there. It all soon began to collide with a lot of stuff as it progresses. And even though that there may be multiple series colliding into one, it would just be too much of a hassle with so much copywriting all over the place. But for Legends Together itself, it's basically tales that were told recently, and usually they're meant to be out forth and to be spoken of. Something I've always wanted to share out to the world, and that it can be remembered for a long time. Now, for the making of each and every episode, usually it starts off with simplicity. I have like 3 programs of video editing softwares, and the first one, I think it was iSoftware or something, and then it came off to Windows Live Movie Maker, and eventually it went straight to Premiere Pro because I had to evolve, and there was so much things happening at once. And for many of the flaws, and like how you saw with the texts and all the blurs and etc., all the dialogues and the special effects, they were all specifically made from 3 of the separate programs that I've been using. So all in all, the first episode was made through compatibility. So there was so much less limitations as I progressed with it, and there was so little I could do as I progressed with it. And for the most recent of dialogues that I've made, obviously it was through Premiere Pro, and it was some fix-ups that I want to make for the sake of public. And yeah. As for how it's been compiled through animations and etc., I have a 2D freeware software known as Mugen, or whatever it is that they pronounce it. Mugen is a 2D freeware software that many people use to customize with many characters, many images, many sprites of whatever character they want, with any music, with any location, any sounds, any controls. You can do practically just about anything with it. And, well, it simply started off on continuing on with it, and I've been holding on to Mugen for the longest time, so I figured, why not have action to be part of that gameplay and see where it goes from there. It may not be the best. There may have been some clips that just made no absolute sense, like the full bar on Thanate's HP gauge. For some reason, her HP bar was like full max when she was attacking Nima and Garen. And in the next clip, she immediately got wiped out by 2 of the 2 students. And yeah, there will be times when that can happen. There were flaws like that, including for the second episode. For the question to ask, there are only 2 episodes. And reasons for that is from how long it took me to take care of each and every episode. It takes way too long to deal with as it is. It took me more than a single year to finish just 1 episode. And for the second episode, it will be coming up in due time, and well, there are some enhancements with it. You won't be seeing that much dialogue as you would. There won't be much pausing that you may have noticed from some of the scenes. And for those enemy sketch scenes, they're pretty hard for me to deal with, and I've managed to deal with them and colorize them through only with Photoshop. So I did it the hard way until I reached towards Illustrator, but on episode 2, again, it was before Illustrator. But obviously enough, the second episode will come out pretty soon, somewhat. It all determines on a couple of friends of mine in particular. Anyhow, for the series itself, there's so much to be told, and it may just be best to have it all as a visual novel, and supposedly it could be sent out through Steam or whichever. But as of right now, I'm just seeking out mostly artists, proofreaders, and lots of people that could make some ideas and guarantees for opening opportunities on drawing specifically for Nemo and Garen, because those 2 are specifically from the Fate of series, and I just don't want to get into that little copyright scenario whatsoever. But, well, it's sort of why I'm making an open debate to allow anyone to draw out any style of the characters of those 2, while I'm trying to figure out what to draw for the character most Renoya. So, other than that, for now, after the second episode, obviously, there won't be much to give out except for any Let's Plays or Mugen reviews that anyone wants me to do. I may talk to a number of friends to see what they want me to review. I can do what I can. It may not be much, but in the meantime, I kinda have been progressing with the story of the series. I've already finished quite much. I'm already on Act 2, basically. And simplistically, I just need those sketches to be done and over with so that I can make progression with it. And yes, most of the characters, obviously enough, it's all Touhou based, fan-made specifically. Anyhow, thank you all for watching. This is just a simple cover-up of what's going on, and yeah, if you liked the first episode, go ahead and make some comments. And if you like what you saw, want to see more, like what Markiplier would always say, you could always subscribe, share it with your friends and family. So yeah, this has been Hackaday signing out.